What's up, my good people, and welcome back in to the Bully Ball Show on Sparks TV. I'm your host, Nino Sparks, aka the Mid Range Bully. Now, the NBA draft is here. Starts today in about an hour or two. What happens? Who goes first? Do the Atlanta Hawks keep that pick? What happens with Bronny James? We're gonna see. But I'm not even here to discuss the NBA draft. I'm here to discuss the NBA free agency. There is no more off season for the NBA. It's 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365. And we're going to break it all down like a fraction. But as always, before we get started, if it's your first time tapping in, or maybe you tapped in before, go ahead, tap that like, tap that subscribe, tap that notification bell. Stay tapped in. Let's get the shit. So, we're hearing a lot about Paul George and how this is the Paul George free agency. Up until 24 hours ago, when the Woj bomb dropped, Mikal Bridges to the New York Knicks. I'm loving the New York Knicks. I ain't even gonna lie. If I had the East Coast squad, that'd be my squad, the Knicks. I just like everything that they doing. And let's all be honest, if you watch basketball, you knew the the fucking best kept secret that wasn't really a secret was Mikal Bridges to the motherfucking New York Knicks. Everybody knew that shit. The Villanova Knicks. That's all they was missing. I personally didn't think the Nets would give them that luxury. Whatever, just give them that and let them have Mikal Bridges. But it looks like they headed for a rebuild, and I'm probably going to do a video on them to see where people like Ben Simmons end up in the rest of the game. But the team that I really want to talk about is the team that could steal the whole show. And we'll see what happens with the draft, because we're going to learn a lot in the next few hours. But the team I want to discuss is the Phoenix Suns. One player, actually three players. But you got to start with the man of the hour, Kevin Durant. Where does Kevin Durant go? Because from what we know, the Suns want to run it back, supposedly. And I should have did this video days ago, because now ESPN is talking about it, and I was kind of hot. But you know how these things go. But what does Kevin Durant want to do? Does he want to run it back? I don't know. And if you're the Suns owner, do you want to pay these guys? I think each one of these guys is making at least 50 to do what? Potentially be in the mix. Because with all three of these guys on the roster, you can't do too much. You put it out there. You've seen what you were able to gather around these guys, and it wasn't much. We're not even just talking about contracts and things of that nature. We're talking about the style of play. Now, I know Devin Booker has shared the ball with guys like CP, who's heavy ball dominant, basically has the ball the whole time he plays. So he's played some off ball. Bradley Beal shared the ball with John Wall for years, who pretty much the same thing, has the ball in his hand most of the time. And KD, he shared the ball with numerous guys. But for whatever reason, the three of them, it's not chemistry. It's not poetry. And it shows. So you got to ask yourself, if just being in the middle of the pack, if that's going to be good enough at the price that you're paying. Now, it's going to sell tickets. That definitely sell more tickets than, everybody knowing that you're tanking or that you're going to be in the lottery. But you in a good position while all of these guys are still relatively healthy. Book and Durant, they supposed to play for Team USA, so they got to be healthy. But do you want to wait this thing out and risk Bradley Beal? What if he doesn't have a good year next season? Now his trade value, which is already down, is gone even lower. Kevin Durant, is he going to be disgruntled? Is the team chemistry going to be messed up? Now you're messing with the locker room, the new head coach. Or should you just give him a clean slate? I think so. So let's start with KD. I think KD to the Thunder is basic news, just like Mikal Bridges to the New York Knicks. And if you ask me, Sam Presti, he been setting it up just for this. Why is this team beautifully set up for Kevin Durant? He fit like a glove. So what are you trading? Let's go Kevin Durant in exchange for Jalen Williams. You know he gonna have to be in it. As much as it would be good, it'd be nice for him to be able to play with KD and them. If you the Suns off the rip, you want J-Dub. So let's go both Jalen Williams, Wiggins, and about 12 picks. About 12 first round picks, 10 to 12 first round picks. If Rudy Gobert went for 5, Mikal Bridges just went for 6, KD going for 12. Off the rip. If you KD, you gonna tell them off the rip, hey, I need at least, y'all better trade me for at least 10 to 12 round picks. If you recall, when KD was traded from the Nets, he made the team that was acquiring him give up extra assets just because he didn't want to be traded straight up for one guy. That's the kind of cachet KD has. Where you can say, nah, throw some extra picks in there if you want me. You just trading me straight up for one player. Better than all these fools. So make no mistake about it, KD going for about 10 to 12 picks. And that should get it done. Because what was reported earlier is that the Suns ain't ready to move on from KD. They might not be ready to move on from Book. But the writing's on the wall. How many times you want to keep running it back? And we'll get the Book in a sec. So KD for J-Dub, the big Jalen Williams as well. Wiggins, who's going to be a good player. And 12 of them first round picks. Now maybe mix it up. Maybe it's 10 first round, 2 second round, something like that. But it's 12 picks. And if you the Suns, that works perfectly. Because now you got Jalen Williams, who for sure is going to be an all-star in this league. Especially if you give him his own squad. And then the bigger Jalen Williams, who I think plays the 4. Or maybe he's a stretch 5, or I don't know. But he's a big dude. He's a good player as well. He could shoot that shit. Now defense, that's another thing. But he better than Nurk, for sure. So that's not a bad trade. Wiggins, who can be a good role player. Hell, maybe he can even be a starter if given the opportunity. So now you're slowly building. So which moves me to Bradley Beal. We're going to get everybody where they want to be to their preferred destination. Why not? You trade Bradley Beal to the Celtics, who had interest in him. The Tatum connection is there. That'd be perfect, especially if you ain't got to give up much to give him. In this scenario, the Celtics, who you would think they the champions, why would they make a trade? That's the way you two-peat. Today's NBA, you're not going to two-peat by staying packed. Just ask the Nuggets. Ask the Warriors. Hell, ask my Lakers. The way you two-peat is by making changes on the edges. Of course, you won't keep that starting unit. Or keep your core. But if you could drop a guy like Bradley Beal, who, yeah, he did have a down season. But shit, prior to that, he was averaging 30, leading the league in scoring. Yeah, on a bad team, but shit, half the teams is bad. And it's Washington. And we all said he should have been got up out of there. I think he just chose the wrong destination. And the injuries, you can't put that on him. But a change of scenery and being healthy, shit. So you trade Bradley Beal to the Celtics in exchange for Peyton Pritchard and Sam Hauser. And I think the Boston Celtics got the 30th pick. That would be beautiful. And I can't stand the Celtics. But that would be beautiful. Because now you can shift Derek White to the bench, who I don't think he would have too much of a problem coming off the bench. He's done it before. And you go Holiday, Beal. Now that I think about it, shit, if Horford is going to retire, you can still play Derek White in the starting lineup. And go Drew Holiday, Derek White at the 2, Beal at the 3, Tatum and Brown, small ball unit. You're not going to want to start the game like that. But that'd be how you finish. And that's a contender for next year, especially after what the Knicks just did. And we'll see what Miami does. Hell, we'll see what Milwaukee does. We'll see what the Sixers do. Can they get Paul George? I got another team we should go to, but I'm going to say that for another video. So then, now you look at the Suns, you stacking up. Now you got your bench rotation in Pritchard and Sam Hauser. Those are two promising young players. Brings me to Book. You trade Devin Booker to my Los Angeles Lakers. See what I did there? In exchange for D'Angelo Russell, who would have to, of course, opt in, which I'm thinking he might opt in. If the market, unless the Orlando Magic are going to throw the house at him. And I couldn't be mad at that. But let's say he opts in. In this scenario, he opts in. You trade D'Angelo Russell along with Austin Reeves and shit. They'll probably want Rui Hachimura as well in the 2029 pick. Hell, we'll throw Gabe Vincent in there if you'll take him, if you'll have him. But that should get it done. Now, if you're looking for more draft capital, of course, there are probably teams that could outbid us, like the Houston Rockets, who want Kevin Durant. But if you're Kevin Durant, why would you want the Houston Rockets? You'd be better just staying with the Suns and what they got. But if you're Houston Rockets, you really should. They saying they want Book, but they really like to add KD. You should want Book. Book, he fits better with y'all timeline. Now, does he fit with the team? I don't know, the attitude of the team and all that? I don't know. But he definitely fits with the timeline. But in this scenario, the Houston Rockets get nothing. The Lakers get Devin Booker. And that'd be a match made in motherfucking heaven. Because now if you're the Lakers, you know LeBron's going to be running a point. But on paper, it would be Devin Booker at the 1. You probably have to put Max Christie in the starting lineup. So it'd be Book, Christie, unless, if you're the Lakers, if you could swindle and try to get Grayson Allen, oh, that'd be beautiful. the Duke connection with him and JJ, that'd be fucking beautiful. You probably have to throw some more in. I don't know what more they would want. Shit, you could have the 2031 pick. You could have the 17th pick in the draft. If that could sweeten the pot. Cause then, that's championship ready. Book, Grayson Allen, Vanderbilt, LeBron, AD. Your bench, you got Christian Wood. You re-sign Cam Reddish, or hopefully, I think he would have to opt in. Taurean Prince, Christie, and the young fella, JHS. And when Bronny ready, you throw Bronny in there. Yeah, that's a championship team, baby. And if you're the Suns, now you're set up because everyone's saying next year's draft is going to be the draft. Now you're set up to move forward for the next couple of drafts. You'd have a lineup of D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, J-Dub, the other Jalen Williams, and Nurk, unless you get off Nurk. Which that'd be a team that'd be lucky to make the play-in, if we're being honest, especially in the West. But shit, anything can happen. You see what those picks manifest out to, what that 17th pick looks like, what that 30th pick looks like. You have a Peyton Pritchard and a Hauser coming off the bench. That's a competitive team, now that I'm speaking it out. Shit, you look up a year or two, one of those picks turn out to be something. Your backcourt gets better. I said J-Dub was going to be a star. He takes a leap forward. Now you're where OKC is. And now you got draft picks. You got picks that have turned into good players. You got an all-star caliber player, good role players. You're a piece away from being right back to it. As opposed to having one more year. Like, let's see what this one more year looks like. And then you blow it up and everybody's trade value goes down. It's harder to stack dudes up anyway with the way they're doing things. So yeah, it's time to hit the reset button if you're the Phoenix Suns. And I just broke it down like a fraction. So we'll see what they do. The draft is about to be crazy. I feel it's going to be crazy. It's going to be trades and shit going on everywhere. But yeah, man. Devin Booker to my Los Angeles Lakers. Bradley Beal to the punk-ass Celtics. But nah, in all seriousness, that would be a good trade for the Celtics. And Kevin Durant to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Back home where it all started. But that's all I got for free. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Am I tripping? Should the Suns just run it back with that expensive-ass team? Do they even have enough? What else would they need? And where would they even stack up in the West if they did make some minor tweaks? Can that big three coexist? Or should they just hit the reset? Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll tap back in later. Peace.